So, the ruby slippers hydrangea. This is something so special because we've now got a hydrangea, which gives something wonderful to look at literally all year long. If you love hydrangeas, but you think, man, they're so big, I don't know where to put this, or you know, it's just kind of they've got these. What I used to feel was the hydrangeas are kind of filler. They've got these big flower heads, not really that impressive. They don't smell, they don't have anything to look at, and they're just huge. But now we've got an amazing color changing dwarf hydrangea. This gets about 4.5 feet tall and wide. The flowers start out pure white, and as the season goes on, they turn from white to pink to a darker pink to almost a full blown red, and even the leaves turn red, just like your favorite maple trees in the fall. And this gives in a wonderful effect as if a professional gardener has come in and changed out your garden throughout the season. But it's all just the same plant. And that's what I love about this. So, what we're looking at right now, this is M61775, the ruby slipper hydrangea. Now, right off the bat, I want to mention something special that we have partnered with proven winners for this hydrangea. What that means, so proven winners, you might have seen them at some of the local garden stores. They specialize in things that are hard to find and easy to grow. That's what we specialize in. We thought, oh, it's a marriage made in heaven. So we worked together with them to produce these ruby slippers hydrangeas, and we're presenting them in a large 1 gallon pot. Now that's special because you're not getting this little twig. I mean, these are solid plants. I don't know if you can see, but they've got a woody stem there. These are old plants, and when you get them, planting them in the fall, as my uncle Eric said, hydrangea especially love to be planted in the fall because this gives them 6 to 8 months of rest and respite to grow deep down underground, so that in springtime, they're going to go really, really fast. I actually have one of these plants behind me here, and you can see some of the flowers are turning pink already, while the other ones are still white. And this is special. I don't know of many hydrangeas, first of all, that have this sort of paniculata shape where it's a cone shaped flower as opposed to just a mop head, which is typically what we think of when we think of a hydrangea. But secondly, that the flowers change colors like that. Now, one thing they really benefit from is the bounty. And the reason why I want to say this specifically for the hydrangea is because there's a lot of flower power going on there. You really want to feed the hydrangea to produce these awesome big flower heads. Now, these flower heads in of themselves are about 12 inches long and somewhere of 6 to 8 inches wide. They're massive flower umbels that have an impressive look. And what you want to see is that um, with the impressive look, you want to see that these flowers have enough nutrients to really grow and explode. And that's what supplementing with the bounty does. Now, when we look at this, we're going to notice a few things. You've got this oak leaf look to it. Now, the oak leaf is something special too, because most hydrangeas, what they have are a typical leaf shape, but with the oak leaf hydrangea, you have something special to look at because it represents just like the foliage of an oak tree, and then they change colors. So it's a very unique plant that you can put in the garden. Now, one thing that I want to mention about these is they're very easy to grow. You do get a growing guide, and what that means is that all of your questions, they're going to be answered, right off the bat. You're going to get the growing guide with the plant. So you're going to think, oh, my leaves are changing color. Does that mean that they're unhealthy? No, actually, that's exactly what we want to happen. That's what happens in the fall with this hydrangea, which makes it so beautiful and so wonderful to look at in the garden. And you can see here in the summertime, at the beginning season, you have these beautiful white flowers with these bright green leaves. And then slowly throughout the season, they start to change. You can see that just right here with my brother Devin. And I want to remind you, these are not the big hydrangeas that are going to overgrow your garden. These only get about 4.5 feet tall. This means you can place them in many other areas than what you normally would be able to do with a hydrangea. My parents have hydrangeas in their house. They're about 8 foot tall. They're crazy, they're beautiful, but they're just huge. And that's why they're in the far back of the house. Here, you could actually put these in the front of the house, and it's not going to look out of place because they don't get too tall. You could also do something like, you know, each side flank each side of a walkway with these hydrangeas, and it would look perfectly in place because they're not going to be taller than the people walking by them. So I just wanted to show you that this guide here got all the tips for success that you need. It's going to explain everything from watering to pH. Sometimes hydrangeas, they are affected by the quality of pH in your soil. That does not bother these. You're going to get the same beautiful flowers with the same look anywhere in the country. These are winter hardy, down to negative 15 degrees below zero. So that means they're going to come back year after year after year. And I want to remind you that when you plant in the fall, what you get is a very sturdy and strong plant that's going to come up in springtime without all the babying and care that you would need to do if you had planted this in the spring, because its roots haven't had time to sink deeply into the soil. That also means you're going to get the flowers earlier and have a longer lasting season. This is something exceptional. I would recommend picking up more than one if you have space in your yard, because they're so hard to find and so beautiful. So coming up next is my sister Steph with the daffodils. You don't want to miss this. This is a collection of daffodils that I think you might have never seen before.
Yes. Next up is a wonderful daffodil collection. This is M7922.